Hello, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, MakeThemTech. It's been a while we posted on this channel, but I want to assure you guys that we are back with great contents for you. Today, we want to look at something very, very interesting titled Write React as a Pro by Learning How Routing Works. Write React as a Pro by learning how routing works. We're going to be looking at BrowserRouter, switch, nested routes, and some other things. Without any further ado, let's get started. This is our app.js. I've already started the application. This is what it looks like. I'm using Webpack. Yes, so this is my Webpack config file. So this is how it looks like. I have some couple of videos on Webpack, how to set up Webpack and Babel from scratch. So I want you guys to watch all the videos I have on that. This is my index.js. I'm actually using a CSS, but I don't have much there. This is just to style a button. So this index.html and .js. So now we want to create some components now. So let me create a folder called components. So I will create 3 components for now, and that will be home.gsx. I love using gsx as my extension for components. Then let's have a login. We are not doing any login session or any login logout gymnastic. It's just for us to understand then how routing works in React. So I just want to have like 3 components, and then we do our normal routing. So we have dashboard, home, and then login. So let's just put a small code, something very, very simple. So I'm not doing anything serious here. That's cool. So we just want to put some things to indicate that it's actually okay. So let's just have this div. Okay, so this will be here. Let's just change this to h2. Okay. So then let's have 2 buttons. One will be login, and then the other dashboard. So let me just write. Okay, so okay, yeah. So now, so we have this now. Yeah. I'm still coming back here. Now, what we want to do is that we want to route to dashboard. We want to also route to home. We want to route to login. So let's create a route file, a file called routes. Okay. So that's where our components will be routed. So we have GSX here. So let me just say import React from. Then we want to import route from React. Sorry, from React router DOM. Yeah. So let's const routes. So return. So let's have our div. So now we are going to put our route component here. So we have this attribute called path for this. I call it yes attribute called path, and that's this. We have another one called components. We have another called render. So and some other ones like that. So for this one, for our home component, we are going to be rendering home, the home component. So okay, so that's it. Then for login, we're going to be, so this will be login components. Then for dashboard, we're going to be rendering dashboard component. So let's import them here. Import home from the components home. So that's it. Okay, so we are centralizing our routing in this application, and this is one of the best way of doing this. You have your routes, all your routes in one particular file. So let me go back to home. So what I want to do here is we need a kind of handler. Let's call it login, and then so here now. Oh, okay, sorry, I've not even done something. Okay, let me just proceed. Okay, I'll come back to this. Let me go to my app.js. So here now, we need to wrap our browser, we need to wrap our route. So we need to import route, this whole route. We need to import it and put it in app.js. So let me just call it route. Is it route? Yes, from route. Okay. So yes, that's what we have. So now this whole thing now so then there is one more thing. When you want to import browser router, import browser router from, that is from React Router DOM. Yes. So now, so today we use React Router DOM. Before it was React Router. So React Router has been completely written, and then we have it to be in three folds now. So we have React Router, which is the core. Then we have React Router DOM as the one for web, and then React Router native, that is for mobile applications. So we have browser router, we have hash router, we have memory router. So this browser router now, we can use it, we can wrap our route, as in we can use browser router to wrap our route, the route we are importing here. Now, the advantage of this is that you will be able to have access to history, location of your application, the history of application, the location of your application. Even you have access to match. There is another one called match that assists you with params and some other things that you want to do. So there are other alternatives. If you are not wrapping it with it, you can use what we call a create history from your history API. You can also use what is called a use history hook, at least to have access to history of your application. You can also use what is called with router, that is HOC, that is higher order component, that you can wrap your component around, and then you will have access to the history of your application. So let me wrap route with that now. So we have a route here. So that's it. Okay, so we are having error here because there is something that is left here. So now because of that now, so I have access to history here. So that's what I want to clarify. So we have access to history here. So I can easily just do my history.push here. History.push here. So here now I could have just used a hook called use history, or use a with router. I'll just wrap my React. I mean, I've now put with router here, and I will have access to history. But since I'm using browser router at my parent component here, that is inside my parent component here, that's my grandparent, or should I call it the overall parent? This is the app.js. So I have no one. So let's push the home, the one for login rather. So that is login. Then that of dashboard, let's push that dashboard, and then let's put it dashboard. Yes. So okay. So on click now. When it is clicked, that is login, and then also for this on click, when it is clicked, and that is dashboard. So we are fine. So it should power successfully. So what's the error now this time around? Oh, that's we have okay. Okay, so it's supposed to be routes, and then are we even? We are not even exporting it yet. So let's export defaults. So we should compile successfully now. So let's check this out. Are we also exporting this guy? Oh, we've not even written anything for this. Okay. Okay, not a problem. Okay, let me just copy what is here and know what to do. So for our home, okay, we already have something at home. Okay, let me just call this one home. So then for login now, let's post this. So this. So now we have what called login. So for this, let me just put div, then this one div, and then let's use this one to be h2, h2. So this will be login, and then login. So then let's go to our dashboard. So we're not doing anything serious here. So it's just for us to just know that, okay, when we route to dashboards, this dashboard shows and this name shows, so we know that's it. So if you want to do a serious application, then you know you are going to be writing a whole lot of things here. So but this is just to experiment with routing in React. So I believe, guys, we are still together. Let's check out what we have done, and then okay, so now, yeah, so we can see the application now. So this is home. So if I go to login now, you can see login is being rendered. Then if I go to dashboard now, you are seeing dashboard. But there's something you guys will observe here. We have home component and also dashboard component together on the same screen. So this tells you that there is a particular matching, there is a particular pattern of matching that routing React Router DOM is doing under the hood. Now let me explain. When you have something like this, that means this is a part on its own. And then if you come here, if you have something like this, to me, I see it as a nested part. That is another thing. How do I put it? You know, this is ASA. Let's just call it A. Then if you now have something like this, A, then B. So now what is going on here is that this is the root part, and then this part is also like a subpart of this. Then this one is like a subpart of this. Permit me to use that language. So it means that if you are routing now, this is going to be matched along with this, because there is a route, there is a root, there is a slash here, and there is also a slash here. Then what follows? A, and for here too, it will match these two together, and then these two will also be matched together. So, and that will bring a kind of serious problem to our application if we don't really know how routing works. So that is what is happening. So this is a root part. Because it's a root part, this guy also has a slash in front. So when it's matching, it's going to first of all match this guy. So when you finish matching this guy, it will further go to this one to match. So anytime you are requesting for a part like this, know for surety that anything that comes before it like this, that has this slash, will also be matched. So that is it. So in one way or the other, this is the best way to understand this now. Now we can call this one level 1. So this one falls within level 1. So then another level that we have is, let's say, level 2. Level 2 is when you begin to have something like this. maybe another, maybe something after that slash. Now level 3 is now when you now have that slash, and then you have it, and you now have another thing again, maybe let's call it B. Yes. So these are the, so then you keep, so anytime you're having any slash again, a slash, that will be like level 4. You keep having it. So now know that this one, so this one is like a child of this. Then this one is like a child of this. So it keeps increasing like that. So now when, because router, real router DOM is actually doing a matching under the there, using regex to match. So this one will match this one, and this one we also match this one. So that's how it works. I don't know if there's a better way I could have explained. I don't know, maybe there's a particular way I could have been more explicit, but as time goes on, we will try to follow through, get it as we proceed. Now, if I had exact A, it means that it's going to match exactly this part. So if I now go to this part, it will render this again. So that solves it. Let's try it out. Yeah. So please don't mind this. I will still address this later. I just hope this video does not end up being so long. Let me try and be very fast. So now you can see that that issue is no more appearing. So we have login. Now let's try out dashboard also. Dashboard 2 is rendering perfectly. So what does that tell you? It tells you that this exact attribute we are adding here is telling real router DOM that anything apart from this, please don't render it. So it renders just this guy, it renders this guy. But mind you, if I still go ahead and put something like, let's say maybe I create another part here, and I put something like slash, maybe ABC like this. Know for sure that, you know, this is the second level now. This guy, because so it will form match. So when you now go to this route, like this, if you go to this route, before you match this, and now match this. So these two will render together. Let's say I'm having another component to be rendered here. Maybe I'm having this kind of component here to render here. So that's what I want to let you guys know. So if I'm not using exact here, do you know that I can still use switch? But switch 2 will still behave like this. So let's even bring in the idea of switch now. At least let's do something interesting. Let's just follow through as a switch. So this is switch. So if I do like this, switch, the meaning of switch is similar to what we have in JavaScript. So this one matches the first thing that this one matches a particular thing, and then it doesn't match again. That is the first match is what it sticks to. It's just like when you write regex and you are not using G, you are not putting global. So it means that when it sees the result it's looking for, or let's say it sees the answer, it stops. But when you are using normal div, that is, you are wrapping your route with div or whatever, it continues to the end. It keeps looking for anything. So when it sees that, it renders everything. And that is good for your layout, your dashboard. You want to render sidebar, render navbar, and code together. But when you are using switch, switch only matches the first one. When it sees the answer, it backs out. So let's look at how this works. But for this one now, you will see what will happen now. Let's see the different behavior. Now we have login. If I do like login, can you see that it's not rendering anything? The reason is because he's seeing this first one, this first slash as home component. So it's not going for login again. The same with dashboard. So that's it. Now, for me to actually do some gymnastic here and mitigate this issue, I can reorder my route, and I'll get the same result as if I'm using exact for div. Let's check this out now. Let's see what happens. Now, if I go to, now you can see this one works fine. Now, if I go to login, login is working. Can you see? Just because I reordered. Now, the reason is because, you know, when he's searching for the answer, he meets this guy first and then he stops. No other thing goes on again. So the same thing is applicable to dashboard. Dashboard too will work the same way. If I go to dashboard, I have my result. Yes. But sometimes the way we developers think, you want your root part to be at the top. So you don't just want any whatever. So let's see further examples on that. So if you now bring in your normal exact here with switch, it works perfectly. There is no hassle about that. So There's no problem. So let's just check this out. So login will work fine, just like the way you have it in it. So, but that's not even the essence of route switch. Now, let's, without wasting too much time, let's create more components as if we are doing some things within a dashboard. So, what are those things? Let's just say we have something like what should we call it? Profile.gsx. Yes. Let's say we have another one called what's that, blog.gsx. Yes. So these ones we are not doing anything serious. So let's just quickly put in flash here. That's profile. No, profile, and then okay. So for blog, okay. So now let's go to route. We are now going to import them from where we've created the bus file profile, and then we have a blog. So that's a profile, and then this is what's this blog. So now let's say we are creating something here. Let's call this one dashboard slash profile, and then let's call this one slash blog, and then so here now we'll be rendering profile, and then we're also going to render blog here. And come in, let's okay. So what else do we need to do? Okay, so aha, that's beautiful. Now let's have something like let's call it a kind of params. So let's say ID here. Okay, you see. Okay, ID. Okay, so should we call it what should we call that one? Okay, that one will render dashboard also. So to render dashboard also. So we'll go and do one thing inside dashboard just now. So okay. Okay, so what do we want to do? What do I want to do? Okay, so let me go to home. Then you had one more button here, and that button is to let me see. Okay, so let's come here. So this one now, let's just call it ABC. So this one will just be dashboard ABC. Just do it like this. Dashboard ABC here like this. So I'm just call it dashboard ABC. So that's the name button. Okay, so now for profile, let's go inside dashboard. Let's go inside dashboard. So inside dashboard, let's put let's copy these buttons. Okay, so inside dashboard, so this will not be for profile. Profile. Okay, so let's have this one. Okay, so this will be history. History. Okay. Okay. So this will be profile. Will be dashboard profile. So this will be dashboard dash blog. This will be profile, and this will be blog. Okay. So profile blog. Okay. So now let's go back to our route. Let's go back to our route now. Now let's say we are using the normal div. So let's watch out for this behavior now. If I come here like this, so we have three things now. If I go to my login, it's because we've already set our root part, we have exact inside it, so it's not going to disturb us. So let's go to the next one. Let's see what happens. Let's go to dashboard. So we have that dashboard. So when we now go to profile, you can see that profile is rendered. So look at what is happening now. This profile is coming from the profile component that is for this guy. Yes. So then the next one, this other one that you are seeing here, is coming from this one, this other one. That's yes. So this dynamic part that you are doing here, so it's actually coming up too. If you also change to blog from here too, you also have the same result. So how do you sort out this? So you can decide to. So this is the reason why you need switch. So for you, the reason why you need switch is that if I take off this guy now, let's do something like this now. Let's see. Let's watch out for what's going to happen. So let's see. So this problem you are seeing, I'm going to talk about it. So you have login. Yeah, that one works fine. So if I go to dashboard now, dashboard works fine. So when I go to profile, but can you see that profile is still coming up? Yes. So the reason is because it's matching this guy, like I said the other time, and it's also matching this guy because it's going to see that, oh, so you're actually shooting this into the browser. So it will match it. So when it sees this first one, it said, oh, it will render this guy. It will also render this guy. So if you put exact here also, so because this one is like the parent of this part, and this one is like the parent of this, and also this. So once I put exact here now, everything will cooperate. So let's try it out now. So if I do like this, so let's go like dashboard. If I do like profile, can you see it's working? Yeah. So, but that's why. So now, any routing you are doing on your application, if you don't have something like this there, then you might not necessarily use switch. These are nested parts. These are nested parts. You might just go through at least you can actually escape that. But if you have this in your application, you can't but use switch because it's going to make your work easier. So what do I mean now? Let's say I remove this thing now from here now. I remove this thing from here. And then I now come here, I now remove let's do this now. So you can see what's happening now here. So if I change this to switch now, switch. Now the same thing. So now let's watch out for something now. So you know that we will still have that same problem, but it's going to be in a different way. So let's check this out now. So if I have something like this, okay, let's go to dashboard. Yeah, if I go to profile, can you see something now? Yes, it's matching the first one and it's refusing to show what profile because it sees that this is the first match, so I'm not giving you this again. So that's it. So in order to avoid this, there are ways you can do that. One, you can bring in exact. If you bring in exact here, it's going to solve the problem. Yeah, because it's going to know that, oh, you're saying that, okay, if there's anything like dashboard, render. So if there's nothing like that, go to another one. So let's check that out. So if I go to dashboard now, if I go to profile, it works. Can you see? Just with exact. But if I don't want to even use exact, remember first match principle. Reorder your this thing. If I reorder it, I'm going to get a very good result. So let me do something now. Let me do some gymnastic. Let's put this first. Yeah, first. That's it. Yeah. Then let's put this as the second one. Okay, you can even put this. If I should even copy everything, yeah. So now, okay, so let's go to let's go to dashboard. So dashboard. So if I go to profile now, it works. Can you see? Just because I reordered my route. If I go to blog, can you see it works? Just because I've just reordered. So that's that. So, but Okay, we've not even tried this one. Let's do something. If I go to this one, it gives me my dashboard back. Yes, that's ABC. So just for us to understand a little about params. Okay, so let me take it back to what it was before. Yeah. So okay, let's still leave it at this point. Let's still leave it at this point. Okay, so now let's check something out now. If I still do my normal dashboard, it still renders this, yes, directly, because but it is when I now begin to do my this one that it now begins to have now begin to get into trouble. So now I want to do something interesting now. Let's go to this dashboard. So there's something called match. So I can actually do something like saying if match.params.id is equal to ABC, then it should return or it should render something different. So that would be return, let's just say div, let's just say ABC like this. Let's call it H2. Okay, so let's just call it dashboard ABC. So like this. Then else you should just give us this directly. No time. Okay, so let's just do some. Let's check that out. Yeah. So if I do like this, ABC, oh, it still gives us this. So what's going on? Oh, okay, we didn't save. Is it that we didn't save or what? It's not giving me the desired result. Or is it not ABC we are putting? ABC. So let me go to the set ABC. Yeah. ABC. Yeah. And then we came here, that's in the route with dashboard. Okay. So let's check it out now. Okay. So let's check this out here. So let me just say console.log. Is it params or param? I think it should be param. Okay, let me just, I'll still check out here. Let me just check it out here. Okay, so let me see what comes back. Okay, nothing is here. It is actually params. Okay, sorry, we have the same problem here. So sorry, we have the same problem here because it's matching this one instead of this. So that's the problem. So let's put exact here so that we can see the change here. I've forgotten. Oh, wow. Okay, so if I do like this, I have my dashboard ABC. Can you see? Yeah. So if you want to check this out now, you can see. Yeah, that is from the props. Okay. So now let's quickly look at nested routing. All these things, we can still put them under nested routes. They belong to the dashboard part. So An elegant way of doing this is we can create a different file called dashboard routes, a kind of component, and then we now do our own gymnastic inside. Then we come here and then we are free. If I here we even use our normal div and then we use switch at the other end. Let's do this quickly. So let me come here. Let me just create. Let me just call it a dashboard route. Dashboard routes .gsx. Yeah. So now let me okay, so let me just go to the routes. I need some things from here. Yeah. So let me just copy the whole of this. So I know I'll remove them when I get to dashboard routes. So here I have this, so I don't need home here, and I don't need this one here. So these are the things I need here. Okay. So let me just put const, that is a dashboard route. Okay, so let me even, something just came to my mind now. You know, in React Router, is it 2 point something or 3 point something, you can actually nest your route directly with something like this. Let me just do like this, route. Then you put all the parts, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Then you can do something like this exactly. So then you now put your nested route inside. You now be putting the child routes, all the child routes like this, and then you are okay. So, but now in Real Router 4 upward, you can't do that again. So a better way of doing that is what we are currently doing now. So now this we have the match props from here. We can pick it from here, and then we can now return the different routes that we want to engage here. So here now, the best thing to do is to use switch because it involves that dynamic route, that where we are using params. So because with that, there's nothing you can do about it. So we have our normal route, exact. So exact, then you do normal parts. If you don't put exact, you have to reorder, like we demonstrated. So here now, I can put something called, let's use our string literal. So I can do something like this. What's that? Yeah. So now I will now say match.url slash, okay, that's the normal root part anyway. So that's our normal root part, components. So and that's, what's that? Dashboard. Yes, dashboard. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. So let's, now the second one now will be what? That one will be profile. So this one is for, then this will be blog. So this one is for the dashboard. Yeah, so this will be profile, and then this will be blog. Then remember the last one, which is the dynamic one. So that one now we can just put our normal ID here. Our normal ID here, then we can render our dashboard. So with this now, we are good to go. So now I can go back to my, let's export it. I can go back to my routes and then I remove these guys, don't need them again. Yeah, so I'll just bring import dashboard routes from you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So then I okay. Okay. So now that's dashboard. So instead of having all these guys, yeah. So I can just go here. Then we don't even need this exact part. So then we put it here. Okay. So from there, there's an error here. Dashboard. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah. So we so in our dashboard routes, yeah. So we are routing to this child component, to all these component that belongs to dashboard. And then on our main route, so we just bring everything at once here. So anytime the part is dashboard, it just matches it automatically. If you look at what we are doing inside this guy, so it comes with the normal UI. This one is representing dashboard. You understand? So then to keep matching it and then putting the other ones in front like this, and then it matches it appropriately. So we want to test what we have done now. So at this point now, I don't even need to use switch. I can just use my normal div. So I only need switch because at this point I have this guy here. So far it is switch that can actually bail you out. Otherwise you battle up and just be battling here and there with it. So if I've used div here and I even put exact in everything, I'll still not need to trouble. So I don't even need exact here. So sorry, I don't even need exact here. I only need exact at this point in time. Yes, because this guy will match this guy, match this at all. But with this one, I don't just need to just be matching the first one. So now let's go to this. Let's try out this. So if I go to login, it's working. Yes, fantastic. Then dashboard now. Dashboard is working fine now. Can you see? If I go to profile, fine. Can you see? Yeah, profile is fine. Sorry. So then if you go to, let's go to blog, it's working fine. Yeah. So now let's try and go to that one from here. It works fine directly. Yeah. So that's how to go about routing in React. Now, there's something I want you to guys to understand now. For some time now, you would have been seeing error, cannot get something, cannot get something. When I do like dashboard now and I reload dashboard to give me cannot get dashboard. Now, this is happening because when you load your browser or you get it, let's say, we have login, and you are doing something like login here and like this, you won't have any result. The reason is because this thing is eating the server that is serving this application. And we are using Webpack development server. So we don't have any routing configuration on it that will let him know that, okay, this is what we mean. So this one is eating the server. It's not within the browser. So all those history.push is actually using the history of your application. So it's able to push and change it. So you're only seeing the address changing here. It doesn't mean that the application is eating the server. So that's what is happening. So we now need to write something to ensure that this does not happen. So that is what I will go into next. So I want to explain it again. When you do this is just more like a GET request. It eats a particular server. So the server does not know what you are talking about. It only understands your root part. That is your root application, this one. And that's what we have here. If you check our Webpack here, if you check our Webpack here, here's the Webpack. Yeah. So we've already told our Webpack that this is the entry point of our application. So it's the entry point of our application, and that when it's running on port 8080. So when it's running on port 8080, and then we've already told him that our root part, where's route? Our root part, which is the same thing as not putting anything, is home. So he just rendered this guy alone. But the moment you try to render this, it doesn't understand again because it's not on the server. It doesn't get it. So the way out is to create a server side stuff. Let's use Node. Let me just create something. That is a new file. That's server.js. That will require us to install Express. Do I have Express here? So I'm actually using React Router, DOM, React Router, React DOM, and React. So we need Express. So without wasting time, let's just install that quickly so that we can round up this tutorial. Okay, Express, yeah. So while we do that, while it installs, let's write some backend codes like Express is going to require that's Express. Okay, so then we want to use something called paths. That is require paths. And then also we want to use okay, app. Okay, yes, that is Express. What's that? Okay, X, yeah. So that's fine. So what we do is that okay, this app should using on the port. So we just say 3000. So let's just say console. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now there's something we need to do. You see, when your application runs, okay, we're finished. So I want to show us something. Whenever we run our application, you see that the application we build two files and we tell you that it's running on port 8080. So it builds two files, this file and this file. So and it's running on port 8080. I wish I could go to the first thing that we did. Okay, so maybe we can see it here. Yes. So yeah, so you can see now the application is running like this. So our main.js and our vendor.js. So in my Webpack, I'm actually doing something called optimization, where I split the bundled files into two files. That is vendor.js and main.js. So that's what I'm doing. So now, if I run this application now, let me run the application. Let's see something. Okay, so that's npm run dev. So let's check out something now. So while I do that, I want to go to, okay, so let's just finish that. Okay, so while we wait for that, so let me just go to the server. I will explain what is going on. So from the server here now, I can just serve this index.html. I can serve it from the server as a static file. So I can do something like app.get. So anytime this thing hits the server, so this star means any path, any URL, any directory, whatever. Whenever it gets here, this is what you have to do. So we have the request and then we have the response. So you do something like this. So it will now be, we are sending this to the server, the rest.send file. And then, and that will be, what's the path to the file itself? Path.join. Directory. Path.join, that's the source, yeah. SRC, then source, another source, what's that? And that's index.html. Yeah. So now anytime it hits the server, we are sending this index.html. You know, that is the whole of our application. This all our application, you know, this is where the React is rendered. This div, ID, app, whatever. So this is the whole of our application. So it knows how to do whatever it's doing. So our application is just entering to this index. So we are serving this once again to the guide. So we don't have any problem. So now what I want to demonstrate is that this one, if I do like this, /main.js, you can see that it shows us everything. So the same thing with vendor. So this is just what I need to copy. And then I'll go and paste it in that guide. And then our application will be up and running fine. So let me go to index.html. Then I'll go to here and just do something like script. And then something like SRC. And then let's put this. And then close it. Then let me change this to vendor. So then we save it. Fine. So now you might need to what's it called? So what we do is that we download. Sorry. Now this application is running now. As it's running now, so we just need to go to another place. Let's start this backend. Okay, so that's Node 7. So it's going to be running for 3,000. So now let me go to this place now. Let me now say localhost 3,000. Yo, man. So our application is running now. So if I go to login now and I now refresh, can you see now? There's no problem again. Yeah. So yeah. So then you can go to dashboard and you reload. You don't have that error again. Yes. Profile, you reload. You don't have any problem again. So that's a very good way of solving that problem. And it doesn't still stop your auto reload. If I still go to modify something, let me just go to Z dashboard and then let me put something in my dashboard. Okay, let's just put something like you. Yeah, now if I do like this, okay, let me go to that second one, the first one. So you see that it's still your auto reload is still there. Yes, can you see? Yes, and I can go to dashboard and still might change. Yes, and if you are going to production, you already know what to do. You have to do npm run build. You have to build your file. Then you can now serve it. You can watch my video. Let me just quickly go there to my video. You can go to my video. That's serving React with Express. So you can also watch out for that video. So that is when you are going to production. And this time around too, you can also install concurrently. If you install concurrently, you will be able to start the two together. Okay, guys, that is it for today. Guys, we want to round up at this point. We please, if you are yet to subscribe to MakeThemTech, please do and turn on the notification bell so that when we drop a new video, you can get notified. I would see you on the next one. Thanks.